Hey, I'm Devish, and if you own a truck or you're thinking about buying one, this channel is going to save you thousands of dollars. Every week, we break down the things dealers, automakers, and the government don't want you to know. Hidden scams, engineered failures, and the real truth behind the trucks Americans depend on. No fluff, no sponsored opinions, just straight facts that put the power back in your hands. Hit subscribe, because the next video might be the most important one you watch before your next truck purchase. You just signed the paperwork on a $70,000 truck. And before you even make it to the highway, you've already lost $14,000. Not next year, not after 5 years. The second that truck rolls off the dealer's lot and becomes yours, the value drops like a rock. And the worst part? The dealer knew exactly what would happen. The automaker designed it this way, and nobody told you a single word about it. This is the real cost of buying a new truck in America, and it goes way deeper than depreciation charts. Here's what's actually happening. The average transaction price for a new full-size pickup truck in 2025 is sitting right around $57,000 to $65,000, depending on trim and region. Step up to a loaded F-150 King Ranch or a Ram 1500 Limited, and you're well past $70,000 before you add a single option. That is not a work truck anymore. That is a luxury car payment wearing a bed and a tow hitch. And the moment you accept delivery, that $70,000 asset starts bleeding value at a rate that would make your financial advisor physically ill. New vehicles lose, on average, between 15% and 20% of their value in the first year alone. On a $70,000 truck, that's $10,500 to $14,000. Gone. In year one. Some models do even worse. And we're going to name names here because you deserve to know exactly which trucks are eating your money alive and which ones are quietly holding their ground. Let's start with the one sitting in more driveways than any other vehicle in America. The Ford F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in the United States for 47 straight years. And Ford has leaned on that statistic so hard in their marketing that most buyers assume it means the F-150 holds its value. It doesn't, at least not the way Ford wants you to think. According to Carriage depreciation data, the F-150 loses 43.4% of its value over 5 years, on a truck with an original price of $59,000, which is actually pretty average for a well-equipped F-150. That's a depreciation hit of over $16,200. After 5 years of payments, insurance, maintenance, and fuel, you're sitting on an asset worth barely $33,000. You paid $59,000 for it. The Ram 1500 is not much better. 5-year depreciation on the Ram runs at 42.8%, which translates to roughly $17,241 lost on a typical transaction price. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 comes in just slightly behind at 41.5% over 5 years. About $15,367 out of your pocket before you've even thought about trading it in. Now here's where it gets genuinely ugly. The Nissan Titan. If you bought a Nissan Titan, you need to sit down for this. The Titan loses 48.1% of its original value over 5 years. An average dollar hit of $22,459. The Titan XD, the heavy-duty version, is even more brutal. Some trims lose close to 64% of their value in 5 years. 2/3 of your money. Gone. And Nissan has been quietly phasing the Titan out of production, which means resale values on used Titans have nowhere to go but further down. So who's winning this game? The truck that loses the least, that's the Toyota Tacoma. And it's not even close. The Tacoma depreciates just 19.9% over 5 years. On a typical Tacoma transaction price, that's only about $6,400 in value lost after 5 years. The full-size Toyota Tundra isn't far behind, losing 21.2% over the same period. There is a reason used Tacomas sell for prices that make no logical sense. Supply, reliability, and a brand that has spent decades earning resale trust. Toyota built something that holds its worth. Everyone else built something that holds your attention for about 12 months. But here's what really burns me. The truck market didn't just happen this way by accident. Automakers have spent the last decade engineering a system that maximizes their revenue and quietly transfers the risk directly to you, the buyer. They do this through trim proliferation, an absolute maze of packages, options, cab sizes, bed lengths, and drive configurations specifically designed to make your truck harder to resell. When you buy a highly customized truck, a specific interior color, a niche package, a powertrain option that only 8% of buyers wanted, you've just narrowed your resale market to almost nobody. Your $72,000 customized Ram 1500 Limited Longhorn in stone white, with a night edition and panoramic sunroof, great truck, terrible resale. The pool of buyers who want exactly that configuration is smaller than you think. Then there's the dealer side of this equation, and this is where I'm going to say something that most automotive channels will not say, because they depend on dealer ad revenue. Dealer markups. Market adjustment fees. These are not ancient history from the pandemic years. They are still happening. During the height of the chip shortage in 2021 and 2022, dealers were adding $10,000, $20,000, even $69,000 in market adjustment fees on top of MSRP. A Ford dealer in Florida literally doubled the sticker price on an F-150 Lightning. But here's the part that doesn't get reported. When you pay above MSRP, your truck still depreciates from its actual market value, not from what you overpaid. So if you paid $75,000 for a truck worth $65,000 at the time of purchase, you started day one already $10,000 underwater. The depreciation clock started from a deficit. Even at MSRP, you're paying more than the truck is worth the moment it stops being new. That gap between what you pay and what the market will give you for it immediately, that's dealer profit, manufacturer margin, destination charges, documentation fees, and dealer prep fees. All of that money evaporates the second ownership transfers to you. And now there's a new variable in the equation that is going to hit truck buyers in a way nobody was prepared for: tariffs. In 2025, the federal government rolled out 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada. And here's something most truck buyers don't know. A huge portion of American trucks are assembled or sourced from those countries. Every Ram HD pickup, the 2500 and 3500 series, is assembled in Saltillo, Mexico. The Toyota Tacoma comes out of plants in Mexico. The Ford Maverick is built in Hermosillo, Mexico. Parts cross the border multiple times during production, for virtually every major truck on the market. Multiple analysts and reports put the potential price increase per new truck at somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000 due to these tariffs. Goldman Sachs and other financial firms have run the numbers, and the ones getting squeezed hardest are buyers, not automakers. Ford, GM, and Stellantis will pass those costs down. They always do. So if you're planning to buy new in the next 12 to 18 months, you may be looking at a $70,000 truck that now costs $80,000. And it will still depreciate 20% in year one. Here's the math nobody does before they sign. Take a $70,000 truck, finance it over 72 months at a 7% interest rate, which is realistic in the current rate environment. Your monthly payment is around $1,068. Over 6 years, you will pay approximately $76,900 in principal and interest. By the time that loan is paid off, the truck is worth somewhere in the range of $30,000 to $38,000, depending on the model and how well it holds value. You spent $76,900 in principal and interest. By the time that loan is paid off, the truck is worth somewhere in the range of $30,000 to $38,000, depending on the model and how well it holds value. Second, avoid the worst depreciators. Stay away from the Nissan Titan unless you find one at a genuinely deep discount and plan to run it into the ground. Be cautious with heavily customized domestic trucks in niche configurations. If resale matters to you, and it should, because trucks are the second largest purchase most Americans make after a home, lean toward Toyota. The Tacoma and Tundra hold value in a way that no domestic truck currently matches. Third, understand CPO. Certified pre-owned trucks go through a multi-point inspection, come with a manufacturer-backed warranty, and are priced significantly below new. A one-year-old CPO F-150 that originally stickered at $62,000 might be sitting on a CPO lot at $48,000 to $52,000. Same truck, same powertrain warranty. You just didn't take the first-year depreciation bullet. Fourth, watch the tariff situation closely before you buy. If truck prices rise $8,000 to $12,000 over the next 12 to 18 months due to tariffs on Mexican and Canadian manufacturing, the used market is about to get very interesting. Demand for used trucks will spike as buyers get priced out of new. If you can get into a solid used truck right now, before that wave hits, you may be sitting on an asset that holds value better than almost anything else you can park in your driveway. Fifth, negotiate on total cost, not monthly payment. The dealership's entire financing pitch is designed to make you focus on the monthly number. Drop that instinct completely. Get the out-the-door price in writing before you talk about financing. Understand what the truck actually costs you, not what it costs you per month. These are completely different numbers, and one of them is designed to hide how much you're actually spending. One more thing, and this matters more than almost anything else I've said today. The truck companies are not your friends. Ford, GM, Ram, Toyota, they are not sitting in a board meeting thinking about your financial future. They are thinking about their own margins, their own volume targets, and how to get you into the highest trim level possible on the longest loan term available. The entire system, from the marketing to the financing to the dealer's F&I office, is optimized to extract maximum value from you while you are in an excited state making a major financial decision. The truck you want is real. The need for it is real. The work you do with it is real, but the way the industry packages and sells that truck is a financial product as much as it is a vehicle. Treat it like one. Do the math before you sign anything. Walk out if the numbers don't work. There will be another truck, another deal, another month. The truck market has more inventory than it did 3 years ago, and the power has shifted back toward buyers, but only for buyers who know what they're doing. You now know what you're doing. Here's what I want you to think about. If tariffs push new truck prices up another $10,000 in the next year, and you're already sitting on a truck that lost $14,000 in its first 12 months, what is your actual plan? Drop that in the comments. Tell me what truck you're driving, what you paid, and whether you bought new or used. I want to see the real numbers from real truck owners, not what the industry puts out in press releases. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button and share it. There's a truck owner in your circle right now who is about to make a $70,000 mistake and has no idea. Make sure you're subscribed, because next week we're pulling back the curtain on why your truck's engine and transmission are failing earlier than they should, and the internal documents that prove the automakers saw it coming. The truck on your driveway is more than a vehicle. Make sure you bought it, and not the other way around.